let's start with the maintain your skills. Okay, so ayan. Okay. So according to your module, you will answer even numbers. So 2, 4, 6. So let's start with number 2. So this is maintain your skills. So the question is simplify the following. State the restricted values if there is any. So mamaya makikita natin. No? So let's answer muna number 1. So xy plus 3y over 4x plus 12. Okay. So according to the direction, we need to simplify. So for us to easily simplify this, we need to factor each of following group. What are those groups? So we have the numerator and the denominator. So ito yan. So convert them, or let's factor them first. So we have x plus y. I'm sorry. X plus 3, and then we factor it by y, or simply divide both xy plus 3y to y. So the process like this. Tingnan nyo ha. So naging ganito siya. Okay. So over what is the answer here for x plus 12? So we factor it again. The GCF is 4. Ayun. Then we have x plus 3. Now, so the reason for this, so we divide 4x and 12 by 4. Ayan. So sila yan. Okay, so this section shows the process on how we get the following numbers. Okay, then afterwards, we cancel same expressions. So ito sila. So ang natira natin is y over 4. Okay, any question? Is there any question?
Wala po.
Wala. Okay, good. Next tayo. Okay, now let's answer number 4. This is again under maintain your skills. So x squared minus y squared over x minus y squared. So again, let's expand it. So x minus y, x plus y. So this is the formula, or let's say pattern, in factoring this kind of polynomial. So we name this one as difference of two squares, or DOT. Okay, and then over. So ayan. So let's expand that so that we can minimize confusions para nakikita natin, so that we can see all terms in our equation or expression. So ayan. So after this, again, we cancel similar terms or expressions. Ayan. So here, x plus y over x minus y. Okay. Now, for the restriction, we can say that x, okay, should not be equal to y, or vice versa. Or y, okay, should not be equal to x. So this is the restriction, ha? So, this one is the restriction. Kailangan nyo daw siya eh. Kasi sabi dito, state the restricted values if there is any. So, any number is possible as long as x is not equal to y, or vice versa, y is not equal to x. Okay? So, this is for item number 4. Question.
Sir, di ko gets yung yung
Restrictions.
kakasabi mo lang.
Okay, for the restriction kasi, we have a rule in fractions or rational expressions that your denominator should not be equal to 0. Why? Because a number, or let's say a fraction, with a 0 denominator, this will, okay, this yields a result of undefined number. So, ito yung nangyayari whenever your denominator is equal to 0. So, we call it as undefined. So, kaya, we need to um, state the restricted values or restricted numbers if we can. Example, your denominator is like this, 1 over x minus 1. So, the restricted values here is that x should not be equal to positive 1. Why? Your denominator will be equated, okay, or we equate this into 0. Okay, equate it to 0 and then find the value of x. Then, the value of x will be the restricted value. Bakit? Because when we substitute x to 1, your denominator will be equal to 0. And when your denominator is equal to 0, again, it will result into an undefined number or undefined answer. So that's the reason why we restrict values whenever you have variables in the denominator part. Ayun. Naintindihan po. Question? I think it's clear. Tama ba? Let's move on to the next one. How about Ivan? Do you have any question?
Wala po, sir.
Okay, good. Next tayo. For number 6, the question is p squared minus p minus 6 over p minus 3. So again, we factor the numerator. So it's like, sige, I will show the solution here. It's 1 or yeah, this will be 1 and 1. Why is it 1 and 1? Because of p. Okay, so 1 and 1 minus p minus 6. So let's think of a factor or a set of factors for negative 6 that will result into 1, negative 1. So if we use negative 5 and I'm sorry, negative 6 and 1, hindi pa pwede. Why? Because we have negative 6. So when we add it or multiply it by 1, it will result into negative 6 and 1, and the result is negative 5. So this one is wrong. How about 1, 1, 3, and 2? Now, who's negative? Who's positive? Now, let's refer to the middle term. The middle term is the sum of the roots. Okay, or let's say sum of the factors. So, the sum is negative. So, meaning to say the highest possible value or the highest possible factor will have a sign of a negative integer. So, given that we have two factors, 3 and 2, and 3 is the highest factor, then we can consider that 3 is the negative integer. Let's multiply. Pwede dito, pwede dito. And then 2, the add, and we have negative 1. So therefore, we can say that negative 2 and negative 3 and 2, ayan, are the factors for this um, for the trinomial term, or let's say quadratic expression. Now, so gawin natin p. So ano tong pp? These are the 1 values. Ito sila. And then we consider the sign of our factors. So negative 3 or minus 3 and plus 2. Yan. Over p minus 3. Now, sir, can we cancel this one? Yes, because again, in fraction, your denominator and numerator, so they are separated expressions. Okay, so when we as we look at this kind of expression, we set them as one term, no? Like yung p minus 3 and p plus 2, and at the same time p minus 3. Um, although they are separated by the minus sign, still when we look at as a whole, as a fraction, they are separated as two different terms, okay, or expressions. I can say that they are terms kasi terms are only divided using addition and subtraction operations or signs. So I think we can say that they are two group of expressions. Okay, so let's group this one, or let's use parentheses to show group or expression here, then cancel. So we have p plus 2 as our simplified form of this question. Ayan. So, sir, bakit dito wala tayong restriction? Because we don't have a denominator. But if we do have a denominator, then we need to create or state the restricted values. So, yun lang naman yan. Question po. You have any questions po? Okay, so these are the questions for maintain your skills.